is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Let's go to our man George in Newport Richie. George, what's going on, brother?
Hello, Tom. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
Yeah, great. I've been following you for the last 2 years, listening to your show.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it, George.
All the hard work you've done for us over the years.
Well, I really appreciate you calling and saying hi.
My pleasure, Tom.
Okay.
I'll listen to your show.
Thank you, man. Have a great one, a safe one. Appreciate it, man.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN. Thanks for kicking off your final hour of the trading day right here with me on the Tom O'Brien Show. And we got quite a market, folks. S&Ps right now only down 0.5%, and you got quite a bounce going on. We are right now 70 points, a full percent off the lows. We're down 0.5%, but this S&P was approaching 1.6% in the red at 11 a.m. Eastern time. We're bouncing a bit. The volume not quite there, but boy, that was quite a sell-off early in the day. We'll see how the final hour trading goes. NASDAQ 100, Microsoft, putting a little bit of fear into this market. Down about 12%. NASDAQ 100 down 1.1% right now. Meta on the flip side of that, up 10%. The Dow right now, after a volatile session, down just 0.1% or 62 points in the red, 49,106. The Russell right now, off by 8 points or 0.3%. Bitcoin. They're selling everything, folks. Gold, equities, Bitcoin, crypto, off 5.9%, off $5,200. Now, what's remarkable is, in all of this gold acceleration, silver acceleration, market at the highs, crypto could not find a bid, and now you're getting selling to the tune of 6%. You have lows out here in November of 80,750. Lows in December, we're below there, 84,505. And you put this thing on a weekly, all right, you break below 80,000 here. You're back prior to everything we did in the election, and that's your consolidation from about 53,000 to 75,000. And yeah, decisive break with everything right now as Bitcoin down by 5.9% and Ethereum's off by 7.4% right now. And it's a good day for crypto. One of the headlines we got is that they're going to reiterate guidance when you're talking about, or not reiterate guidance, but talking about the clarity of how they're going to regulate it. They're selling everything today. Gold contract, and boy, when they started, man, didn't take long. From 55.78 down to 51.26, so about $450. And, for some context here, right? If you know the gold market, you're in this gold market a lot. Check out the volume. Okay, just from 10 o'clock until 10:45, so 3 15-minute bars, you did 35, 42, what's that, 77,000. You did over 100,000 contracts in 45 minutes of trading. A good day in gold is 200,000 contracts. It's been much bigger numbers recently. Look at this day we got going on in gold, folks. 533,000 contracts, and right now you're down by $13 on the session, technically. Jump over to silver right now. Not quite the volume that you got in gold. That was something else in gold. Silver off by 71 pennies, well off the highs of 121, but not quite the same volume sell-off you had in gold. Platinum, they were all rocking. Look at the sell-off in platinum, $300, $25.92 right now, off 1.4%. And copper, up to $6.58, and just like that, you give back basically everything you did from last night, right? 2 accelerations. You tested basically that area you were at near 6.30 last night, near $6. We're back to 6.20 copper, still positive by 28 pennies on the session. All right, we jump over to Microsoft. So, down 12% off $57, just chopping around at about 420. We're at 424.15, and yeah, this is quite a loss. More than $400 billion in market cap wiped out from Microsoft. Only second to Nvidia, losing $592 billion when DeepSeek right? When China's DeepSeek got launched and everyone freaked out over all these companies spending all this money on the video chips when China's doing it with less, that's the only loss ahead of it. There's the day, January 29th, and we'll see where we finish that day. But yeah, $424 billion, almost $500 billion in market cap. Now, that loss that Microsoft's incurring today is greater than the market capitalization of about 96% of the S&P 500. Yeah. So what's that? Only 20 companies are bigger than what Microsoft is going to take out in one day. Now, Meta is on the flip side of that, thankfully, balancing a few of those losses out. Otherwise, the decimation just could be extreme if they ever both miss the mark. Now, you got Apple after the bell today. They're a little bit of a safety play right now, up by 0.7%, as they usually are, 258.26. Yeah, Walmart's always in the same boat, man. Haven't even taken a look at them, but on days like today, Walmart's where everybody likes to run. You think this market's going to have some massive problems? One of the areas that seems like you can hide when the destruction's going on is Walmart, rightfully so, as they are just growing and the volatility you're facing, nothing like some of these growth equities. And we jump over to Tesla, down 3.2%, as they're going to start building chips, and they're just selling off with the market. Decent numbers, the market, but right out of the gate, just like everything else, man. The selling began, it didn't stop until about 11 a.m. Tesla trades down from 445 pre-market to 414, and we're coming towards those lows yet again at 417. Okay. Yeah. Now you talk about... Nope. Yeah, we got copper. And how about in prediction markets? It just keeps going. So the CFTC that regulates prediction markets, they're going to write new rules for the multi-billion-dollar prediction markets industry. It's time to clear the rules. I mean, it seems pretty clear. They can basically have binary contracts on just about any prediction market they want. They're in sports for sure. Consistent with my commitment to fostering responsible innovation in crypto, I will continue to support the responsible development of event contract markets. In 2024, under the past chairman, they called for banning sports and politics. That's not happening. Hit formally withdraw. Now that's going to get formally withdrawn. Okay, as a 2025 staff advisory that cautioned businesses from offering those contracts due to ongoing litigation. So there's going to be some clarity, and it's going to be game on, if it's not already game on in those prediction markets. All right, folks, we're going to be talking to Tim Ord at 30 past the hour, and we have some great questions that some listeners emailed in. If you have any questions for Tim ahead of time, send me an email, tommy@tfnn.com, and I'd already talked to Tim. Seems like a perfect day, right? As in, we were gearing up to talk to... We're just going to talk metals today, folks. We're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into metals. I asked him to take a look at silver. He's going to be taking a look at silver. And, send me a question if you got any questions for Tim to take a look at. We'll talk to him in 15 minutes. But we're coming back, folks. S&P's down by 40. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps off by 41 points right now, trading at 69.65 right now. And yeah, as I mentioned, so you got Bitcoin down almost 6%, no pop there, right? We were down to 83,210. Trade right now 83,855. You jump over to Coinbase, down 6.7%. You talk about a pullback, man. Whew. You're about to go negative on Coinbase for the beginning of 2023. Now you got some buying out here. No exacerbated selling, especially since November 17th, but I wouldn't be touching this thing, man. Even though, as I was mentioning, that you get the headlines of regulators say they're ready to lay out the crypto rules to foster growth. This would ordinarily be something that's a boon, right? You saw that go up for potential vote. The Coinbase CEO kills it. But now the regulators say they were ready to lay out the rules. And yeah, in a joint interview with the Journal, they talk about their efforts to craft that regulation and divvy up oversight of the crypto industry. And yeah, this is all on the earlier this month. The Senate committee was preparing to mark up the Clarity Act. Then Coinbase pulled their support. And all the politicians says we can't do it. And one of the biggest fights there was rewards paid on stablecoins. You talk about red flags everywhere, folks. I spent some time with it around that time talking about the red flags of rewards. Okay, they call them rewards on stablecoins, and they're giving you like 20%. Okay, let's see what... Rewards on stablecoins. Be careful out there, folks. And listen, with risk is reward, okay? And you're taking some risks and the volatility in crypto right now. But the worry about that is that you're talking about providing a blanket of security that might not be there, right? Rewards on U.S. stablecoins kept within crypto exchanges. Well, buyer beware. Anytime you're getting over the risk-free rate of return, just realize there's risk with it, no matter what somebody tells you, man. If there wasn't risk, then you wouldn't be getting more than the risk-free rate of return, period. And speaking of returns, how BlackRock loss reignited worries about what's hiding in private credit. Well, how about a 19% decline in a week when as recently as November, they were marked as full value? Something tells me they didn't go 20% down since then, right? But eventually it goes so far, you got to make that markdown. You can't hide it anymore. $140 million loss in private credit. Yeah, surprised investors last week when it disclosed a 20% decline in the net asset value of the investments it owns. That's the TCP Capital. That fund has assets of $1.8 billion. Wow. Not surprising, but to see it when it starts. Okay. Forgive me. I was looking for, and I had it, these BDCs. And yeah, it can be difficult to know what investments are worth at any given time, given that they hardly ever trade, instead are valued by fund managers using a mix of internal analysis and third-party pricing services. Yeah. They're a business development company. Type of closed-end investment fund that provides capital to small and mid-sized companies. Private credit. Now, Tesla out with their numbers down by 3.3%, we'll call it. And yeah, talked about it this morning. It'd be interesting to see if Elon ever rolls them all up together. If you're going to roll them all up together, maybe you put these two together first before you go IPO. And maybe he doesn't need this to go into Tesla. SpaceX in merger talks with XAI ahead of the IPO. And yeah, it is going to be quite an IPO. Shares of XAI would be exchanged for shares of SpaceX, and the two legal entities were set up in Nevada on January 21st for the transaction. If you're in XAI, fortunate enough to be in there, you may have the option to receive cash instead of SpaceX stock. No final agreement. The details, I'm sure, not yet worked out. SpaceX targeting an IPO that would raise significantly more than $30 billion in a transaction that would value it at $1.5 trillion. Amazing. They may target a June listing and could raise as much as $50 billion. Why not if the company is worth $1.5 trillion? And one of the primary drivers? To raise money and put data centers in space. It's like a built-in air conditioning system out there. That's part of it. SpaceX's Johnson also told employees in December that a potential IPO would help fuel an insane flight rate for its development Starship rocket and a possible base on the moon. So we're going to have rocket ships, bases on the moon, and data centers floating around in space. Hey. Technology is moving fast, man. And I was driving around today running some errands, and I found myself thinking, right, all this stuff we're talking about, Tesla earnings, Tesla, Microsoft, Meta, Apple after the bell today. You get Amazon and Google next week. Amazon off 1.2% right now. And Google down 24 cents. And yeah, you know, you're probably not far off, Duffy, in terms of your own private flying drone. I literally found myself saying, you know, I pull up at a red light, right? And it's going to be one of those things that in future generations, it's going to be thought of as so archaic that we controlled all the cars and had like tens of thousands of people dying every year. It's going to happen. It's going to be one of those things, the way we look back on history, right, and say, that's how you did it, right? Nobody wore a seatbelt. There was drunk driving everywhere. What are you talking about, right? It's like, well, we evolved. Okay, things happen. You didn't even have headrest in cars. You ever look at those old, beautiful cars? One of the reasons they look so cool, they have no headrests. Of course you have headrests now. They're a safety concern. Now, it goes much further than that, but we are going to be in this period. And then generations from now, they're going to say, how'd you do that? You had millions and millions of people just driving on the road and everybody was just driving into each other and people were dying everywhere. And I exaggerate a bit, okay? But yeah, that's happening, man. All right, folks, we're coming back with Tim Ward. We're going to talk some metals. Listen, we're talking to Tim for a couple segments. If you have questions, email me, Tommy@TFNN.com. We're coming back with Tim Ward. We're talking metals, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tom O'Brien Show is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps down by 41 points right now, well off the market lows, though. Intraday, we were down near 6,900. We're trading near 69.66 right now. NASDAQ leading the way down with Microsoft in the red. And right now, folks, we're going to talk to our man, Tim Ord. You can reach Tim at his website every trading day, ord-oracle.com. There he is. And don't forget, folks, at TFNN.com, right under the services tab, Tim's got 2 great webinars, 6 secret ratios every trader should know. And as I say, we talk about many of those ratios right here with Tim every week. And the secret science of market tops, how to identify market tops. But we are going to be talking some metals today. And do we have enough action in metals today for our planned metals segment, Tim? Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Actually, we're going to basically look at the bigger picture. We will get to silver. I know a lot of listeners wanted to talk about silver, but I kind of want to just give a background, kind of where we are, what to expect in the coming months, whatever. But I showed this chart before. This is the NDX down here. This is a monthly. Next window higher is the XAU NDX. So this is basically measures gold stocks against NASDAQ stocks. When this ratio is rising, gold stocks are outperforming NASDAQ stocks. When it's declining, then NASDAQ stocks is outperforming gold stocks. And we had a big turn up in 2000, looked like January 2024. And what makes it significant, we did get the RSI above 50. Between 2012 to 2024, the RSI stayed basically below 50. And in early or mid 2024, it got above 50, and right now we're up around 76 and change. And that's how to identify. This is a change of character in the market. For the last 12 years, the monthly RSI of this ratio stayed below 50. And now we got above 50. For the next 12 years, we may stay above 50 with the RSI staying above 50, suggesting gold stocks are going to outperform the NASDAQ stocks. And we'll get to what we need to get to, but this is the monthly XAU to SPX, which is the equity market, not the NASDAQ market, but basically the SP market. Kind of a similar story. The market does a lot of cycle stuff here, but for 5 years it went sideways. Then they hit a high in looks like about 2020. That was probably the COVID crash right there. Then went again sideways, and now we just broke out. So we broke out of basically a 10-year base, and if you can't hold below the previous highs, it'll go up to the next higher high, which is this high up in here. And right now we're 0.063. Looks like it probably goes about 0.7. 0.17. Anyhow, to get there, to get to that high for this ratio, that would mean gold stocks will outperform the SPX stocks about 300%. So what I'm saying here, gold stocks compared to the NASDAQ, gold stocks compared to the SPX, gold stocks is probably the place to be. And so these gold stocks have been really beaten down over the last 12 years. And there's a major rally going on. We'll have some consolidations along the way, but in my opinion, these gold stocks are kind of a place to be comparing to the equity or the NDX and the SPX. So, having said that, let's look at, people are interested in the silver stocks, so that's what we're going to cover. This chart goes back to 2011 as far as I could take the data. And the bottom window, I think it's a monthly time frame. Yeah, it's a monthly SIL, which is basically the silver stocks. And we're comparing the SIL to SLV, the ETF for silver. So this is a monthly chart. So it kind of bounces up and down, whatever. And basically, in 2000, silver stocks are expensive compared to the price of silver when it gets up to 2. Anywhere from 2 to 2.3. And it's cheap anytime it gets down below 1.25. So that's the green area. Anything below 1.25 is silver stocks are cheap compared to silver. And when it gets above 0.2, which is this area up here, this is expensive. So you want to be a seller when it gets above 0.2 and be a buyer below 0.125. So I listed those times when that happened. So I got above there, picked out this high here, picked it high here. So anyhow, that's what, and actually I did some RSI studies on it too. And you can do the Bollinger Band thing on this thing too. So here you got a buy signal, which is basically the 2015, 2016 low, gave a sell signal pretty close to high. Didn't really give a buy back in here, but it did give a sell signal at this high. Went back, gave a buy signal, basically started approximately 2023 to 2025. It stayed cheap and rallied up. RSI got up here, and lo and behold, this thing is back down to 106. So okay, so what's that mean? Gold stocks or silver stocks are cheap compared to the price of silver. So even though it did get up RSI, it did give a kind of a sell signal back here, it's back into the buy signal. So let's take a deeper look. So valuation wise, silver stocks are cheap compared to the price of silver. So that's valuation wise. So you also got to look at momentum. So let's take a look at momentum. This is kind of a same chart, a little bit simplified. I just put a Bollinger Band on it here. So anytime this ratio gets above the mid Bollinger Band, it's a buy. So you got to buy back there. Got to sell when it fell below mid Bollinger Band, so you got to sell there. I probably should have made this SIL chart bigger so you can see it. But it gave a buy here, gave a sell here, gave a buy basically there. That's like mid 2024. Rally up, RSI got way up, and now we're back into the buy again. Or you're basically closed below the lower Bollinger Band. But now you're into valuation wise, it's a buy. So what does that mean? So if you're a longer term trader, which I kind of am, this is a good value to buy silver stocks. Yeah. I'm hoping I'm making this clear. So, but we'll cover it some
you're doing
more.
great, man. This is perfect. We'll take a quick break. And yeah, I was taking a look. Pretty remarkable. I didn't even realize that type of divergence in terms of the SIL versus the equities versus, that SIL was at $80 in October and we're at 109. The SLV was at $50 in October and we're almost at 109. We're coming right back with Tim, folks. Stay tuned. If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps down by 31 points. We're talking with Tim Ord. Don't forget, folks, you can visit Tim at his website, ord-oracle.com. And then 2 great webinars at TFNN. And this is great stuff, Tim. So please keep going. We'll tell you, because I rushed it there at the end, but when you were talking about that, pretty remarkable. I look at the SIL, that high in October, you were at $80, right? The equities were already at $80. Now you're at 109 versus SLV was at 50 and you're at 104. You're almost at the same price now, and the metal was at 50 at the same price as the SIL was at like 80. Pretty remarkable. Yeah.
Yeah, so anyhow, this is great value because really it needs, when it gets up around 2 up in this range, that's where you can have trouble. And that's what happened at these major highs in the past, up at 2 range. We're at half that. So to put that in perspective, in other words, gold stocks double and silver does not do anything. If silver stays exactly where it is right now, silver stocks would have to double to get the ratio back to 2.
Yeah.
So that's what that says. So, everything's kind of extended. Here's another chart that's just weird, too. This is kind of a hard... I'm kind of skipping around here, but let's make it clear where we are. I guess if I own silver stocks, and I got quite a few of them. And what I'm thinking is there's a rotation going on. What I think is going to happen, none of these stocks are actually going to go down much. Silver may consolidate, in this vicinity, but silver stocks, according to the ratio, are cheap compared to the price of silver. And that tells me that even though a big run-up has gone here, these silver stocks, more or less, are probably going to flip sideways. I don't think they're going to retrace much. If you look, going back to as far as this chart goes, which is 2015 or so, we're at the lowest low right now. We're actually lower now than we were in 2016. So gold stock or silver stocks are probably not even going to retrace much here. What I've been saying all along, there's going to be a rotation out of the big stocks into the lower price stocks. And I think that's happening right now. Because over the last month, I bought a bunch of small stocks, 5 to 20 cents, 25 cents, 50 cents. And I don't know, probably half of them doubled. And will that, continue? Maybe. Because I don't see any reason to sell them. Because price-wise, relative to the price of silver, gold or to silver stocks are cheap compared to the price of silver. So, is that going on in other markets too? Here's another market. This is the bullish percent index. The bullish percent index for the gold miners index measures the percent of stocks that are on point and figure buy signals in the or the gold miners index. And I did that ratio with GDX, and I went back to 2014, and I did the valuation again. Anything below 0.1 was a buy. And so all these buys there are actually pretty close to at least short-term lows. Some are major lows. I picked out the COVID crash right there. But they all picked out decent lows. Here's a minor, it went down a little bit, but basically you're still close to the lows. We actually got a buy signal on that pullback we had last year. I forgot it was March or whatever. It gave a buy signal. That buy signal came right back into the price range again. So even though this market screamed up, this ratio is also giving a buy signal. Really unusual stuff going on. So I'm not afraid of gold stocks or silver stocks, because these, if you go back and look, I think there's 13 signals here, not counting the current one. If you bought all those 13 signals, you would have been profitable on all of them. And here we are again, even though we ran up, this is giving a buy signal. We're at anything below 0.01. We're at 0.93 right now. Can it go lower? Yeah, maybe, but you're still, what that says, you're still close to some sort of a low in this vicinity. So, let's look at momentum. This is a momentum chart, not for silver, but just for GDX. And even though we're pulling back today, obviously, we're not even close to a sell signal on this indicator. We're up around, when I did this, we're up around plus 17. Right now. To get a sell signal, you need to fall below zero. And all the blue areas are times when this indicator is above zero, and did an excellent job picking out rallies. Not ideal there, but 90% of the time you're catching rallies, and it's still in a buy signal. So what's going on? Well, I'm thinking what's going on is we're actually going to break out of these ratios. This ratio here is the XAU gold ratio. I talked about it last time, and I think this ratio is going to break out. I think, gold is going to go higher probably over time, but it may consolidate here, and the rally in the silver stocks and actually gold stocks, this is XAU compared to gold, are going to actually continue higher. I think this ratio is going to break out of this, 15-year or 12-year sideways trading range. It's going to break up and go to the next higher high. And we're at 0.09 right now. It looks like about 0.18, which in other words, gold stocks will double compared to the price of gold. So even though gold's been rallying here for a number of years and that was the place to be, I think now is the time where the stocks are going to outperform the gold going forward. And it's going to be that's what the charts say. I mean, this is a buy signal, and this one, getting back to this one, even though it didn't give a sell signal, we're back in valuation-wise, is back into a buy signal. So, I mean, they screen, but, how far can it go? I don't know. I mean, if you believe the charts.
Let me ask you, and not to jump in, but we got a couple minutes left. I got a couple questions from Tigers, okay? Right. And one of the questions first came from our Tiger, Frank, and he was asking, and, you were just talking about, you were talking, but the Bollinger Bands were on that last chart I was looking at, of course. And so Frank asks that you've shown us some great ways to select potential buys of low-price precious metal stocks using Bollinger Bands. Do you have a related method to trigger a sell for such a trade? And, man, it's been a heck of a run. And how do you approach something like that, Tim, if you could?
Actually, good. We'll just show that on this chart. This is a monthly SIL. If you get 100%, this is a monthly chart, you get 100% the open close above the upper Bollinger Band, which has happened there, and you can't quite see it, but there's a doji right there.
Okay, and 100% over the upper boundary. Is that what you said of the band?
The open and close is above the upper Bollinger Band.
Okay.
When you get to that point, the market's stretched too far from the mid Bollinger Band, and what that says, the mid Bollinger Band is kind of the equilibrium of the price. The price, I guess. When, if you're up above the mid Bollinger Band and it kind of drags along the mid Bollinger Band, that rally will continue for a long time. When it gets stretched way above the the mid Bollinger Band and above the outer Bollinger Band, you're two deviations away from the mid Bollinger Band. That means the market's stretched too far from the norm, and usually get a snapback type decline. And a lot of times that mid Bollinger Band becomes support.
And does that work for equities and the metals, just in terms of those charts?
Yeah, it worked on actually everything.
Across the board. I thought so. I just want to
across
make
the
sure.
board on everything. But you want to look at the monthly time frame first before you go down to the smaller time frames.
I like it. Big picture down to those small details. Tim, that was awesome, man. That was an awesome 20 minutes. I appreciate you breaking down the metals. Folks, check it out. ord-oracle.com. Those 2 great webinars. Tim, I'll talk to you Tuesday, man. Thanks so much.
All right. Talk to you then. Thanks a lot.
Talk to you then. Thanks, man. We'll come right back, folks.
Focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks, and silver's charging higher. We're where we were at 10 a.m. this morning. We just got briefly above the highs of 1 o'clock. Silver up by $3, up 2.7%. You jump over to gold, up $79, trading at $54.18 right now, up 1.5%. Talk about an acceleration. We're $300 off the lows right now. Market catching a bit as well. Check it out. We're 90 points off the lows. You talk about a market with volatility, man. The VIX, we almost hit 20. We're under 17. Now we get Apple after the bell. Up $1.80. Apple up by 0.7% right now. Take a look at this thing right in the middle of its trading range. This has been a nice channel for Apple. You back it up. Chopping around to the upward, and we're right in the middle of that channel at 258 right now. We have highs at 288 out there. So they'll be under pressure. Look for that services number. And yeah, AI in focus. And they just came off the iPhone 17. The 18 will be in focus, I'm sure. Apple after the bell. Jump over to Comcast with their numbers today. Up by 2.8%. quite the acceleration to the upside on their numbers today. 3011 as broadband, one of the highlights. Look at Disney up by 1.6% today. Verizon up by 1.3% right now. And T-Mobile up by 1.6%. So Amazon and Google are next week. Amazon off by 0.5%. We might finish in the green. We got 4 minutes left. S&Ps are down just 15 points right now. Russell's about to go green. This market. Oof. They're buying the dip, folks. You can't blame them. Can't remember the last time it didn't work, no matter what you pick. Metals, equities, gold up by $91, up 1.7%. And S&Ps. Look at this weekly. Can't even see a pullback in that weekly. All right, folks, thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great night. Have a safe night. Enjoy it out there, folks. Your friends, your family. We'll see you back here at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Have a great evening, everybody. Thanks so much.